What's up with y'all? It's Astro Vibes. Y'all already know where we talk about psychedelics and spirituality. I'm Astro, big ancient one, you know. Here I just want to share how complex higher self is. I've been training with the spiritual world in these different realms and entering the mind and exploring the spirit for some years now, and I just hit a level and position, a vibration that they want me to share with y'all. The ancestors and the guides would like me to start sharing what I have done experience and what I know. So today I'm going to break down my most recent situation that I just downloaded and understand how complex higher self is. There's a lot of people running around higher self, higher self, higher self. The higher self is made up of so many different levels. So you can be calling upon the first level of higher self, you can be called upon the 113, 133 levels, like it goes up. But so last week I did DMT, I did a big dose of DMT. And for people that don't know what DMT is a chemical that's in your mind, your pineal gland, and your lungs. So when we do deep breathing, we activate this DMT that's already within us. And also when we sleep at night, certain amount, little amounts of DMT get released. It's called tryptamine. You know, I'm dyslexic, so work with me with the words and how I speak and articulate. But yeah, I did that last week. As I was there, I was sitting in meditation form, and we entered this room. And as we entered this room, I'm third person, and we're there. So they showed me first observer. First observer was myself having a human experience. Second observer was me seeing that I was having a human experience. Third observer, by the time I got to third observer, I kept repeating myself. I'm Dante, I'm Dante, I'm Astro, I'm Astro. Trying to remember who I am because it felt like I was losing self. So and that's at the third observer. So at this third observer, I'm like, Dante, I'm Astro, I'm Astro, I'm Astro. And I see me observing myself in the human form. So they take me to the fourth observer. After the fourth observer, I no longer knew who I was. It wasn't that I didn't know who I was. It was no longer self. My identity was gone. Felt like I was more than just me. Felt like I was all. So at the fourth observer, I'm like, wow, all right. I didn't even think of the human experience. I didn't even think of what being human was. That shit didn't exist no more. They take me to the seventh observer. At the seventh observer, I wanted to be human again. I wanted to be human again. Sadness, pain, these struggles that we face in life, happiness, these different emotions and struggles and obstacles are almost like orgasms, you know? Like they was pleasures. They was like almost like exactly like orgasm. That's exactly what the feeling was. That's the best way I can explain it. And I wanted to be human again. I wanted to experience what it was like to be human. Because at the seventh observer, the seventh dimension, you have a higher perspective. So emotions don't exist at that level of consciousness or vibration. So after that, I didn't get to see what 5th or 6th like. They shot me from 7th to 12th observer. As I got to the 12th observer, I asked them to stop because I felt like I was going insane. It wasn't that I was going insane, it was more so that I knew I wasn't going to be able to bring back or grasp what I just experienced if I kept going up to the infinite consciousness. So I stopped at 12. I told them to stop, they stopped at 12. But when I stopped at 12, I peeked up, there was way more observers, like more self, some more I, whatever, consciousness. So I'm looking up like shit, and it's going up all the way up like a pyramid. I can see like, because everything like was positioned in like a pyramid form going down and then spread out as it go down. And that's the lower that the pyramid is our lower selves. So I stopped right there. I knew there was more observers. As I'm looking around, it's like we on this 12th floor. Imagine everything behind me black. And we on the 12th floor of this 12th observer. And I look around, there's light beings everywhere. There's more like light beings just in one position, like they just stuck, like they standing still. All these different light beings in different position. So I see that, I step out of my light being that was where I was at when I was observing. I step out of it, step into another one, and I look down from that 12th observer floor, or dimension. I look down, I see the first observer. The first observer was my son. I'm like, oh shit. So that's me on a different timeline of reality of experience, having a human experience. But my son only think he's separate from I, only on his lower self of higher self. So I lost what self was or who I was at the third observer. So once we start tapping into these higher selves or a higher self, there's no I. You don't have an identity no more. You become all, you become everything, you become ancestors. So as I'm there, I'm in this position because time don't exist on that side. So I step out, I look around, I step out of my son position. I'm like, oh shit. Now I understand you as I as you. I turn back around, there's one behind me, I step into that one. Boom, I look down. From that observer, all the way down to the first observer, there was my man, Dave. Boom. And what a coincidence, my man Dave is, he been dipping. And it seemed like right after that, John, he really, let's go. But, fucking, I look down from the 12th position of my man, and I see him at the first position. So now I'm like, all right, you is I is you. I can understand that we are mirrors of each other, reflection of each other on different timelines of vibration of experience. So now they appear to me, everything dip away, sorry, vanishing away, they appear to me, telling me like, this is all you. You can operate as an ancestor. Now once you unlock these certain areas of your brains and realms, you are able to come back to this realm. So you are able to operate in these realms without physically being here. So now like when people tap in or people need help, they are able to call me, say Astro 3 times with generally energy in their heart and everything, and I will come. So now like I have multiple like parts of myself that's scattered through this whole system, because we all are. You know, I am you, you is I. So I'm able to use these higher light beings in these other realms that's also within me. So, you know, and what's crazy is the day right after, right, I'm on the L. These abilities, bro, once you start using more of your mind, you are able to start doing more shit, tapping into the one consciousness and be able to navigate. The other day I'm on the L. And this dope fiend is there, and this kid come past passing out fruits and apples and everything, so he get an orange. Boom, he on there, he peeling the orange pills, throwing it all on the floor, disrespectful. Like, I'm like, damn, how you gonna treat life like that and someone just gave you life? So so boom. So I'm sending thoughts to him like, yo, pick that shit up, bro. Pick that shit up, bro. And it's not working. He's not getting the information. He's not picking it up. So now I get the light bulb moment like, boom, bro. Remember they said you can go back to this higher realm, travel, and be able to communicate as an ancestor. So boom, I dip back, I close my eyes, I put myself back in that 12th observer floor realm, and I try to find a light being that's matching where he's sitting. So I find a light being where he's sitting, and I travel down to the first observer. And as I'm in the fucking first observer, bro, I swear to God, it's like I was within his mind telling him to pick this shit up. And as he started picking this shit up, I swear, no lie, it felt like I was picking this shit up. Boom. And he picked up every piece too, every piece. So boom, I open my eyes, I come back, open my eyes, I see him, we catch eye contact. He started talking in tongues. The lady next to him just looked at him like on some high shit, but I knew what it was. The other day, for the pictures that y'all seen today on my IG with the bird was sitting in a tree, right? The birds never let me get pictures of him. If you tap in, you know how Divine don't let you get pictures. So he in the tree, and I tell him to move because I want to get some pictures of him. So I put my thought where in that place again, and the bird moved in the exactly direction I was moving. It was like, whoop, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, this is the type of abilities we on, bro. Hey, niggas got abilities, bro. You can tap in and dive into other people's consciousness and get them download telepathically, bro. That's how telepathy shit works. They attach up there together. You know, you're a multi-dimensional being, bro. Multi-dimensional being. I don't think people understand when they say they multi-dimensional being. You exist in multiple dimensions and realms at once. Multiple experiences and battles and dimensions are happening at once. You are a spirit having a human experience. Like, higher self is so complex. So now, when we call upon higher self, which one are you calling upon? You can be calling upon the third observer, where he think he still is all. He think he's separate from all. I mean, what observer are you calling upon? Are you calling upon the observer that don't feel emotions? What the hell? Or calling upon your higher self, the seventh observer that don't feel emotions, to give you some sympathy, to understand why you hurt right now? You don't care about that. You know? They don't really care about that, bro. So what higher self are you calling upon? Higher self is very complex. Your spirit is very complex. It's made up of many different levels of vibrations. Many different levels of vibrations, you know? Yeah. Big ancient shit, bro. That's ancient shit, bro. I'm gonna keep trying to break down shit for y'all over and over. That's what higher self is, bro. And what's crazy is, that shit wasn't easy. It wasn't difficult going from first observer to 12th observer. Like I said, at the 12th observer, I thought I was going insane. That's how much willpower and ground, like, self I know. Like, I'm going to the infinite consciousness, bro. You breaking apart. Like, you know who the fuck out, like, I'm that third observer talking about, yo, I'm astral, I'm astral, I'm astral. Got to the 4th, forgot that I'm astral. Got to the 12th, I didn't, what's human? What's that? 7th, I'm like, yeah, I want to be human. I know what that is. Send me back down there. So, source, break yourself up in all these different parts of experiences so it can experience. Because if it's at all, if it know all, experience all, have all, what is the experience? So it shatters itself in many different pieces and parts to experience. You feel me? Sun is shining on me. That sun beautiful, bro. Those sun days, bro. Yeah, my blessings today, bro. I told y'all self-love today, baby. Told y'all self-love today, baby. But yeah, man. That mind. We only use 3% of our DNA. There's 97 that need to be unlocked. They know that. They call it dormant DNA, junk DNA, but it's not. It's getting activated. Activations are happening. So let's get to work. We warriors, bro. We warriors. I need more teams. I need more soldiers. I need more people to be fighting these other shits that's in these realms too. So many different entities that's running around controlling people. You know, just like higher self is made up of so many different levels, these higher beings are made up of so many different levels, and their little selves are scattered around. Like one time I'm in the room, I'm like at bird's eye view, I see this fucking beast. It's like man plus mammal, right? And it's the size of a building, like size of a building, right? And it's like this, eating, right? And I'm like a bird, I'm coming in from far distance in, and I see it. And actually doing like this, all this blue like holographic energy, right? It's pouring, it's flowing, it's just pouring. It's like lifting it out of water, a river. Fucking it up as I'm going down, zooming in more and more. I seen that these were streams. Like, it was streams he had. Each finger was a stream. Stream. He had 10 different streams coming out of his hand as he was eating, right? And these streams went to different places of the earth. So say that you was in New York, I'm in Canada, somebody else in Africa, and we all experiencing like the same thing, like a breakup, or a death, or fear, or just feeling lonely. These type of lower frequencies that bring us down, right? So all these 10 Jones, so this one beast is control of that one experience that everybody experiencing in different locations. So it's like each side of a building, but these different streams is connected to different people, and he's just eating their fears and life and taking everything, eating it. As I'm going down, they give me this like this big ass fucking power situation. It almost looked like my hand transformed into like a sword or something. So as I come from Birdview and land on the ground, he see me. He started coming. All I know is like I hit that shit, and I trucked it, and then it fell, and then as it fell, it was like I put my hand on it, and then it vanished, like it just dipped, and I'm like, oh shit. But the streams, as it dipped, the streams went back to the people. So I'm like, fuck, this shit can't be real. I just bodied a demon, an entity, bro. Like, man, that's what it was, bro. This is a spiritual war. Every holy Bible be talking about this. We are at a spiritual war. You know, like every day we fighting shit, we taking spiritual hits. Like for example, like somebody can have a bad knee, but leg probably got fucking chopped off in the other one, or leg getting beat on. You know, some of these fucking sicknesses and mutations and illnesses and accidents and problems that happen in the physical realm are ripple effects of the other realm. The physical realm is the last place of the ripple. So it ripples through so many other realms, then play out here. So we are fighting the wrong fucking battle if we think we're gonna win here. We have to go within, hop in them realms, because we are one, and we can fight the battle correctly. Peace and love, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe.